Morning and welcome to Business Ethics, Week 9. And today we'll be talking a little bit about Chapter 9, Managing and Controlling Ethics Programs. Before we get into that, I wanted to highlight just a little bit, a couple of things. One is I've had Angie McCoy with our she's the assistant director of the Newman University MBA program, get around to my classes this week and give everybody a little bit of an overview on our Newman MBA program. And it is a program, if you're an undergrad and you're looking at different options right now, it is a program that can be done within 1 year after your graduation from your bachelor's program. So if you're an athlete that got an extra year of eligibility due to the coronavirus, or if you just have an interest in just while you're here, just striking while the iron's hot, you can knock out an MBA. It's all online and can be done within a year. So if you have any interest in looking at something like that, why don't you reach out to Angie McCoy, assistant director of the MBA program. She's actually gone through the program herself and just graduated recently, so she's a bit of an expert from a couple of different aspects. So be sure and reach out to Angie. Also, I can give you any counsel that would be beneficial as well. I teach at least a couple of classes in the program. It's a 36-hour or 12 class program, and I teach at least a couple of those classes within the program. So I'd love to see you be a part of it if you think it would be of interest. So just wanted to make you aware of that. Also for this week, I've got a few different videos that I'm going to have posted as supplemental videos in addition to this main post that I do each week. One is called The Importance of Developing Ethics Programs, Creating Ethical Cultures in Business. It's a TEDx talk that is pretty interesting. And then I've also got a video that I like to share in classes. It's called Follow the Frog, and it's kind of a humorous video, but it kind of shows different ways that people can, or at least highlights one specific way that you can do things to embrace causes that you might be enthusiastic about. And it's kind of a humorous way of making that point, but I'd like to share that video in the class. And then the last video is, it kind of goes with our discussion board post for this week on the ethics of double-blind studies or the placebo trials. And this is called, this video is called The Ethics of Placebo-Controlled Trials. And so I think be a video that you might want to watch before you actually do your discussion board for this week. Give you a lot of interesting and dynamic information on that particular topic. So on Chapter 9, wanted to go through a few slides with you on managing and controlling ethics programs. Some of the learning objectives for this week: define ethics auditing, identify the benefits and limitations of it, and examine the challenges of measuring non-financial performance, and explore the stages of ethics auditing process and understand the strategic role of the ethics audit. I may not go through all of that in this particular post and video, but it is on the slides, on the PowerPoint slides, and also within the book, so in your reading. In implementing ethics programs within organizations, the success of those programs depends on a few factors. One is the content of a company's code of ethics, the frequency and quality of communications regarding the ethical code, and the quality of those communications. But most importantly is a senior and local management's ability to successfully incorporate ethics into the organization and their commitment to doing such. Really, senior level management has to be on board for any of these ethics programs to stand a chance. And line managers have to be trained how to do their part to come in behind them as well. Some of the controls in business ethics, formal controls, include input controls such as proper selection of employees, effective ethics, training, and strong structural systems, process controls, management's commitment to the ethics program and the methods or systems for ethics evaluation, and the output controls, comparing standards with actual behavior. One of the things that I would say in terms of controlling ethics in an organization and programs such as this is one of the things I would just emphasize is garbage in, garbage out. If you don't get the right types of employees in an organization, and I mean from the leadership, the top CEO on down, it doesn't matter what else you do. If you've got crap coming in, you're going to have crap coming out. So if you're not hiring and you're not spending and you're not emphasizing on hiring ethical people into your organization, nothing else really matters. You can have the best programs in the world, you can implement them the best way in the world, but if you don't have good people coming into your organization that care about such things, probably not going to make much of an impact. Ethics audits. This is somewhat new, I guess, to the landscape, but definitely important. A systemic evaluation of an organization's ethics programs and performance to determine their effectiveness. Social audit, assessing and reporting on a business's performance and fulfilling the economic, legal, ethical, philanthropic responsibilities expected by its stakeholders. If you look at public companies, or organizations that are nonprofit, they will usually talk about their ethics programs, their social responsibility, and how they measure and implement those. And they'll usually give you a report card on how effective those programs are and how they're adhering to their own standards and processes. Some of the benefits of ethics auditing: detects misconduct before it becomes a major problem. If you think of an organization like Wells Fargo and you look at everything they're going through right now, they have just about functionally destroyed that brand, a brand that has stood the test of time for hundreds of years, and they have just destroyed that brand. And they obviously were not doing any kind of ethics auditing. They weren't watching, they weren't, once again, garbage in, garbage out. I think you'd have to really look at a company like that and say they are a shining example of what we're talking about. Ethics auditing helps understand the ethical culture in an organization. You look introspectively to do that, highlights trends, improves organizational learning, and facilitates communication and working relationships. And it also, and finally, improves relationships with the stakeholders, which in today's environment can be very beneficial and necessary. It helps companies assess the effectiveness of their programs and policies. The information derived from audits is used to ensure maximum impact and availability of resources that are needed, and identifies potential risks and liabilities and improves an organization's compliance with the law. Again, all of these are absolutely crucial and very important. And you just look around the landscape right now and see the companies and the organizations that are obviously not doing these things. And it gives you a pretty clear indication of the importance and why they're necessary. Because there can be a huge price to be paid if we're not taking care of such things. Okay, so that probably wraps it up and concludes my post for this week. I hope all of you are staying safe. I would highlight that Newman University is entering week 9 and of a somewhat shortened semester in which we'll stop on-campus classes before Thanksgiving. So we're well past the halfway point, and so far so good. They're saying we're keeping our positive rates down to very manageable levels. They're quarantining people at very quickly if they think there's any smell of a problem. And so it all seems to be working. I appreciate everybody as you're doing your part. Let's continue to take this serious. If Newman can get through this semester and be on campus all the way, which it's looking like pretty positive in that respect right now, we will be in a very, very elite group nationwide. And then we'll have a little bit longer break over Christmas. Hopefully everybody comes back healthy and we're able to repeat and do the same thing this next spring. And again, we'll be an elite company if we can pull this off, and you're all doing your part so far, and congratulations on that. So we'll look forward to talking to everybody next week, and stay safe and reach out and let me know if I can help you with anything.